Hello folks, welcome to BrainPulp. My name is Ed, and this is the second installment of Green Hell. Now, if you missed the first video and you are unfamiliar with this game, that is definitely the one to watch because that's where I go through the introduction of this game and sort of get into the ins and outs of how it's played, as well as it sort of goes over what the initial storyline is in the game. So that's definitely something you want to watch if you're brand new to the game. However, if you are somewhat experienced with the game, or if you've seen the introduction before, this is probably where you're going to be starting, because this is where I first start to do some actual survival in the game. And speaking of survival, let's just jump right into it, because we have some things that we need to do if we're going to actually survive our stay in the Green Hell.
Hello? Jake, what the hell is going on there? Oh, come on, speak to me, Jake. ¿Por qué no me respondes?
Mia? Mia? God damn it, this radio. Hello? Can anyone hear me? I had an accident. I don't know what happened. Please, help? Over. Fuck.
And this is where the game really begins. So this is where we're going to start to kick off the actual survival aspects of the game and the things we have to do in order to last and find Mia. So there's a number of new things which we're going to find in our notebook, including sort of a rundown as to what we need to do, what we know, the facts, where's Mia, some information about that. It's also going to show what our main goal is right now, which is to find help, as well as some additional tools. So rope and a torch and some new information about plants. Now the tobacco plant is the other plant that we talked about before, and there's also information about various sort of buildings and structures we can attempt to try to build using the materials that we find in the rainforest. And specifically what we're going to need to do right off the bat is this. We are going to need to erect some sort of shelter, whether it be a small shelter or the the hut shelter. But this isn't just important in the game itself to sort of keep you alive. It's necessary in order for you to save your game. So this is going to be the very first thing we do, is to build a shelter of some kind, whether it's going to be a small shelter or a hut shelter. As well, creating a bed for yourself, which is going to allow for a better sleep, is super important. We're also going to have to find things like water, food. Those are all things that are going to be very important. We're going to have to build certain tools as well, which we're going to get into and how to do that in just a moment. So this is where, once again, the real survival begins and the real game itself begins. And we're going to start that right now. Now, through the magic of editing, I'm actually going to take you through the important parts of what I do. You're not going to want to watch me gather sticks for a full hour, at least not in a pre-recorded video. Maybe in the future I will be doing a live stream for this, and then we can just sort of relax and talk as I play. But for now, I'm going to be doing a fairly tight edit so that you can see what I'm doing, but you don't have to see every single mundane thing I do throughout the entire game at this point. However, as I said, there are certain things that we need to do right away, and I would like to do that before midnight, so let's start doing that right now. First, we're going to go to the shelter. Now, I think, in this case, we want to go, let's go ahead, we're going to build a small shelter here. And as you can see, the red shows that this is the yellow I was talking about a bit before, so I'm not sure if this is just a non-ideal placement for it, but we're going to place it where it shows actually white, so it is an ideal placement. And right there seems good. It's a decent place. So we set that there, and again, like with the fire, it creates a framework, and it's going to tell us what we need to get first. So in this case, we need to get logs first. And we're going to be doing that by chopping down trees. Now, in order to chop down trees, we need to make a stone axe. Now, the first time I went through the game, there were two things that I had a hard time figuring out. First of all, and it seems silly now that you look at it, but it was creating smaller stones in order to build tools. So you'll find these big stones, but you can simply pick these up and then not do much with them. So then you have to drop them. Now, it said your notebook was updated. Now that's going to be a stand for big stones. So it's going to show you a structure that you can build to store big stones. But I didn't realize that if you clicked right on this, you can bring up this menu and you can do something which seems odd for a stone, which is harvest it. And so if you go to harvesting it, you have a bunch of stones. 3 stones, in fact. So we're going to harvest a bunch of these large, big stones because these smaller stones are going to be super important to us. And I will harvest this one as well, too. And now we're going to be on the hunt for a larger stick, because if we can find a larger stick, we can use these stones to create a tool. Now, before we do that, let's go ahead and quickly craft up something, which is going to be we want a stone blade. In fact, I'm going to want 2 of these stone blades right off the bat, if I can. So craft, we're going to create a second stone blade. Craft there, and that's going to leave us a couple additional stones. So now we have 2 stone blades, and what we want to do now, as I said, is we want to find a large, a regular sized stick. Not a long stick, but just a regular sized stick, because that's going to allow us to build a very, very important tool, which again is going to allow us to get more stuff. Every time I find a stone right now, I'm going to just harvest it, because stones are really important throughout the game. I don't want to hunt. So we have a small stick, not what we need. We will eventually have to build a fire as well, too. Here we go. Now we have the stick. So we're going to grab the stick, and we're going to go back to the crafting table. And we're going to grab the stick. We're going to put the stick, if I can grab it, there we go, put that on there, and then we're going to grab our tool, which was the stone blade, and we're going to put those 2 together. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. For this particular tool, we just need a regular stone. There we go. And we're going to create a stone axe. Now, a stone axe is going to be incredibly important, because now this is going to allow us to start chopping down some trees. Now, as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit darker. And one of the reasons why for that is because it is currently 3 o'clock, which isn't like super late, but it is going to get darker as time goes on. And I want to try to get a bunch of stuff done before we get too tired to do things. So I'm going to start hustling. I'm going to start chopping down some of these trees with our newfangled stone axe. Because again, if you need to create an axe in the wilderness, just find a large stick and a stone, and boom, you have yourself an axe. This is 100% accurate. Don't question it. But I'm going to start chopping down some trees. I'm going to gather up a bunch of wood so I can create a fire. But more importantly, I want to be able to get the logs I need for that hut. In fact, this small tree here is just going to get us sticks and longer sticks, which will be important. But first, we need to get something that's going to produce logs. So we're going to go over to this slightly larger tree and chop this sucker down. We're actually going to hit it this time. There we go. And you can also see the axes +1 there. It's showing that our skill in something is going up. Now those skills are going to continue to go up and improve as we play, which is going to give us other benefits later on. Okay, so timber, the tree comes down, and as you can see here, it's going to create a log. So we pick up the log, and as you can see, there is the sort of the wheel on the bottom there, surrounding, or the circle surrounding the log, and that's going to show you how many of these things you can pick up at once. So we can pick up this 1 log here now. This should have actually dropped a second log somewhere. There it is. So we're going to pick up that as well too, and now we have 2 logs. So there's a certain limit to what you can pick up of certain items. In this case, with the logs, you can pick up 2. So you can take both of them down here and plug them into the shelter. Boom. So now we need to get the long sticks. Now you've seen before how I did that when I had the machete, which was chop down those thinner trees. I talked about it. So again, I'm not going to show you the entire process of chopping down all these logs, all these long sticks. I'm just simply going to do it now, and we're going to quickly build the shelter and get back to you guys. Oh, I should note, though, that if anything interesting or exciting happens in the meantime, I will definitely cut back and let you guys in on it, because I'm going to be recording the entire time. I'm just not going to be showing you every second of what we do here.
Oh, no. You gotta be kidding me.
Okay, yeah, he seems to take it really hard whenever you lose an axe, which I just did there. So axes and other tools that you have do have a certain amount of durability. It's okay, because we have other supplies, so all you have to do, of course, is just go ahead, and we're going to simply build another axe. So we've seen how to do that before, and there, get another stone, boom, and axe at the ready. So now we can get back to building our little hut. Oh, something else to point out, as you can see, that sort of smudge mark on the bottom left-hand corner with the number 1 around there, those are different conditions that can end up happening to you. So we're going to bring up our notebook here, and I'm going to show you some information on conditions. And in this case, it is going to be dirt. So the effects: increased chance to get wound infection, eating with dirty hands can lead to ingesting parasites, and known treatment is to use water to clean up the body. So what we're going to do here is, I just heard something in the bushes. Anyways, what we're going to do here is we're going to go down to the water, and we're not going to drink, we're going to wash ourselves. And that, as you can see, removes that particular condition. So these are things that you're going to have to do throughout the game in order to survive. As you can see, our hut has progressed nicely. We need a bunch of rope, and then we're going to need a bunch of leaves to go on the back of it. And then I believe 2 more long sticks. So I'm going to quickly gather those up because it is starting to get quite dark, and I want to do this before I need to sleep. Now you can also see that we forage different things. We've found some mushrooms here, and we're going to gather those up because those could be useful. I've not tried eating these mushrooms yet, but I'm sure they're going to be perfectly safe and sound, and they're not going to cause us any problems because here's a tip for everyone. If you go out camping or whatever, if you find mushrooms, you're guaranteed that they are not poisonous. Do not listen to that at all. It's not true. Do not eat just strange mushrooms. No matter if you find them in the forest or if a stranger gives them to you, it's best not to eat mushrooms that you don't know exactly what they are. Now, especially when it's dark like this, you really have to watch your footing because, as I mentioned earlier, I did a small little stumble from what I swear was only a foot, and it caused an abrasion, and that eventually causes infection. So I'm trying to find the path down here without sort of stumbling down a sort of a slight drop-off and ruining our day. So we can see our hut down there, so we're making our way, and I think we have enough rope for this. We're going to find out. Now, it's super dark right now. It is going to get a bit lighter in just a moment because the moon hasn't risen yet, but right now it is crazy spooky dark. So, here we go. Okay, so now we need to get the palm leaves, and there are plenty of palm leaves around here. We just have to sort of find them, and we're going to chop down this tree to get some palm leaves. Actually, this is banana leaves. That's right. I made that mistake before. So that is not, these are, you can't really tell because it's super dark, but these are palm leaves. So we're going to chop down this sucker to get some palm leaves. Okay, so here are the palm leaves. We're going to pick them up. And like with the other larger sort of items that we find here, there's a limit to which we can pick up any time. And I think the limit here is 5 or 6. Limit here is 6. So there'll be some left over, but we're just going to go quickly over here and fill these up, insert them, and we're going to repeat this process until we finish building our little shelter. Okay, so already you can see with the moon rising that it is starting to get a bit brighter out here, which makes it a lot easier for us to find what we need, including some extra palm leaves, which I sort of chopped down before. But yeah, there's this really sort of dark, sketchy point where before the moon has crested, that it is very difficult to see anything. So yeah, that's not exactly my favorite part of the game, but it does get brighter, so you can do some stuff during the evening. Now I'm going to quickly check the watch here and see that it's almost 11 o'clock, so we definitely want to sort of hustle up and try to finish this off as quickly as possible because we still want to build our bed to make sure we have a decent night's sleep. But for now we need, what do we need? How many more do we need? We need, we're going to need 6 more of these, so that's good. That's an entire sort of handful, so we're going to quickly go and do that and then finish off a bed. Okay, so I finished off with the leaves. Now we just need the last 2 components for our shelter, which are these 2 long sticks, and we're going to put these in, and then we'll be completely finished with the shelter. You can see the bar at the sort of bottom left-hand corner, the one with the lightning bolt on there. It shows that we're getting a bit tired, a bit fatigued, and then the second long stick. So now we can save the game. So I'm just going to do that now, just in case something crazy happens. I'm going to save the game, and I will use the same one we did before, but actually no, I'm going to use the one below, just in case. So now we have a save game. Now, I would need to create a bed. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to the backpack. No, I didn't want to go to the backpack. I wanted the notebook. And we are going to get a, we want a banana leaf bed. So I'm going to, as you can see, boom, it shows a very specific location where it can be placed. Now this is going to give us the best rest underneath there, I'm guessing, because it's a nice bright white, whereas just outside of it, if it will show me, I thought it did show yellow for a second or two. Yeah, right there, it shows yellow. So we do want it in there because it's the best location, so we're going to go ahead and click that, and we need 10 banana leaves. Now, these particular trees give banana leaves, so we're going to chop down this. Let's see what time it is. It is, we're doing pretty good. It's only 10:30, so I decided to punch the tree for some strange reason. Don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go and collect some of these banana leaves. As you can see, boom, they all fall. Now, before I go and grab the banana leaves, there are going to be a couple here which should say dry leaves. Yeah, dry leaves. Now, you saw what I needed the bird nest for before in order to create the embers for the fire. Dry leaves are basically what you need now. So I'm going to grab a few of those because tomorrow we are definitely going to want to start a fire. And For now, though, we're going to grab as many of these as we can carry, which I think, again, is 6? 5 or 6? It's 6. Okay, so we're going to grab 6 of these, and we're going to fill in our bed here. Okay, now, as you can see, there are two, it seems we have 2 conditions, so I need to inspect myself quickly to make sure that I'm not dying of something. So what do we have here? We have nothing on that arm, and then on this arm we have nothing, and here I think we're okay, and then this leg we're okay, but we are dirty. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how to figure out what the 2 conditions, unless I'm just super dirty. Maybe it's just that I'm super dirty and I need to really wash myself. So we'll see if, yes, okay, so it's just the fact that I'm super, super dirty and I need to wash myself a lot. Quickly wash myself again. There we go. Okay, so it was just, that was just a condition twice, showing that for 2. So that was important to figure out. Anyways, I'm going to quickly try to finish off this bed, so I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to gain more leaves, and I'm going to try to get this thing done. I only need 2 more, so it shouldn't take us too long. Now, as you can see, I sort of strained myself to the point where my stamina bar went down to nothing, and I had to stop and take a few breaths. So I'm going to grab these dead leaves. So that's something you do have to sort of watch out for when you're playing, is not to push yourself too far because it'll force you to stop. I imagine running is going to be very similar to that as well. So now we have a few extra banana leaves. We're going to put these on here. This should finish off our bed nicely. Boom, done. Now, if I can, I'm thinking maybe of building the fire, or at least to sort of like get the wood out for all the fire. I'm just going to drop these for now and try to do that before bed, because it is currently, let's see, it is currently just past midnight. I'm getting tired, but I'm not quite there yet. You can see this, the need for sleep condition is there. I would like to wake up at 8 in the morning, but you know what? No, I think I'm not going to push it. It's dark. I've done pretty well for the first day, so I think I'm going to go ahead and sleep now because, yeah, I don't want to push myself too hard, and I can always gather up the sticks and create a fire tomorrow. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to bed here, and we're going to finish off our first night of Green Hell. Okay, so we wake up nice and fresh as a daisy in the morning. We seem to be okay. Now, we're definitely going to be low on certain things, so let's go ahead and check our watch and look at the nutrients. So we're definitely going to be low on water, and there's proteins. We're low on everything. So we're low on everything. Water is going to be the biggest thing, and this brings up another thing which was very difficult for me to figure out how to fix, because there's water in here which you can drink, but we're not supposed to drink unclean water. So I was trying to figure out some way to boil water, but meanwhile there's another way to get water, and I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to grab one of my knives here. Oh, leech. These are disgusting. So you get the leech information in your notebook, and I'll show you that quickly if I can find it. It's going to be here, right? Abrasions. Leeches. So the effects: irritating, reduces sanity. Known treatment: tear off your body. So for those of you who hate leeches as much as I do, and the fact that we seem to have suddenly gotten them without being in the water, which is terrifying, I'm going to show you the inspection here. And the one arm, perfectly fine. This arm is perfectly fine. Oh, there we go. Leeches on our legs. So we just simply grab them and we drop them off. And yeah, leeches are disgusting. And there's another one there. So usually only one limb at a time gets you know, infested with leeches or whatever, but it's possible later on in the game that you're going to get leeches all over your body. I have no idea. But the condition has now gone away, so now we can go about our regular day. And as I mentioned, I was going to find us some water. Now, it took me forever. I was trying not to look up anything because I wanted to try to figure out things for myself as much as possible in this game. As we go, we're just going to gather some sticks and stuff. But finding water, I kept trying to find some sort of fruit or something that would work, but it turns out there is a tree over here, if we can find it again. Let's see. There's a tree over here which has... I can see it. I thought there was a tree over here, or was it over there? There's a tree somewhere. Basically, we need to find a tree that has coconuts. And if we can find the coconuts, we're going to be able to harvest those and drink the coconut water, which is great. But then we can use the coconut shells as little bowls, which will allow us to collect other types of water. Now, I don't want to fall here because I've done that once before in the game. And I'm trying to find coconuts. There are... Last time I saw them... Oh, is that a no, that's not a coconut down there. But yeah, we need to see if we can find any sort of coconuts, and if we can, that would be really great. But it may be too early. Maybe the coconuts haven't sprouted yet, but you have to look up in these tall trees to try to find some coconuts. And when you do, you need to sort of throw stuff at them in order to knock them down. But since we can't seem to do that yet, I'm instead going to just continue doing my gathering skills. I'm going to chop down this tree and get a long stick and create another very useful tool. Oh, so here you go. You are slowly dehydrating. Check your status on the smartwatch to find and find something to drink. So I just mentioned it before, and as you can see, we're pretty low on water there. So you don't want to die of dehydration. Well, you don't want to die of anything for the most part.
Shit.
Once
Seriously?
again, he's upset that his axe broke. He gets very, very attached to his axes. So I'm going to pick up the stick. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to craft with the stick. And I'm going to take one of our stone blades and put it there. And then I'm going to go and grab our last remaining bit of rope, put it together, and we created a stone spear now. This is going to be extremely useful for us because this is going to allow us to spear fish and get some nice food. So right now, though, our main goal is to try and find enough wood for a fire. Oh no, I didn't want a long stick. I'm going to drop that. So we're going to continue to get sticks, and I also going to have to build another axe, of course, which, you know, this is sort of the game, right? You have to continually find things in order to survive and build up things that you lose. For example, the axe again, so I'm going to have to build the axe. But right now, our main goal is to create a campfire, and then it's going to be to find some water in the form of coconuts. Okay, so it's kind of buried in the bushes here, but as you can see, I did build a fire. That might not have been the best location, because if you really built a fire there, you would burn all that grass away. But it allowed me to do it there, so that's where I did it. Now we're on the hunt for some coconuts, and this is something I want to try to do as quickly as possible, because dehydration seems to come on you pretty quick, and I want to try to fix that up. After that, maybe we'll do a bit of fishing, but I think the coconut thing will be the last thing we do in this particular video, because I remember it being kind of a pain in the butt in order to gain the coconuts we needed. Now, I swear there was a coconut tree here before. So maybe this changes from game to game. Maybe they're not always in the same location. I'm not sure. But I swear there was like a coconut tree. And the coconut tree was actually dropping coconuts down there. So I would have to go into the water for them. But I don't see... Oh, wait. Is that a leaf? Or is that... No, that's just a leaf. That's just a different looking leaf. So, yeah, no, sadly, no coconuts. Okay, so the search for coconuts is not going so well so far, but what we're going to do in the meantime is we're actually going to do a little bit of fishing. So here you need to walk into the water with your spear, and you need to wait for one of these larger fish to come near you. So you need a bit of patience, and you need to wait for them to get nice and close. And once they get close, you can strike. So right now I have this, and it's... See, that was too far away, unfortunately. So we do need to get a bit closer and wait for the fish to come to us. And you can see that there's several fish here, so it's not going to be difficult to find fish. Oh, one's coming up, and there we go. So now we got the fish on our spear. We can harvest it up, and we're going to get both meat and fish bones. Fish bones are going to be useful later on, but for now we have some meat. So once we decide to sort of start this fire up, we're going to be able to cook up some meat. Now the meat, I'll show you in the inventory. The meat is able to decay, so we've got 19 hours before this becomes not useful for eating. Basically, it's going to become rotten, so we definitely have to cook it up within that time. Now, I don't think I've created a fire drill at all. I haven't, no. So I'm going to go do that now quickly, and then I'll be able to get it ready for later on when we do want to actually cook up our fish. Now, one of the things is, with the rainforest, as you've probably seen several times, like right now, it rains an awful lot. So you have to time your fire, unless it's sheltered, in between the rain, so that you have enough time to light the fire, have it cook, because the rain will put out your fire pretty quick. But again, the fish isn't what I was most interested in right now. I really need, as you can see from our watch, I really need some water. So I'm hoping not to drink any water from the lake. I want to try to find some coconuts. So I'm going to be back on the hunt for some coconuts, and I'll be back with you guys the second I find a coconut. Okay, so I've now crossed this little sort of like log bridge here. Now, I remember briefly exploring this area before, and it sucked because there was some snakes in here. There was a bunch of things which were definitely able to kill me. So I don't like coming over here this early in the game, but I did spy some coconuts up in that tree. So we're going to have to risk coming out here. Oh, that's an unknown mushroom. I'll take that anyways. Always good to take some unknown mushrooms. But there are coconuts up there. So what we need to do, I'm going to try to knock these coconuts down. That seemed to do absolutely nothing. Okay, so what I need to do is try to throw and knock one of those coconuts down. So now that I've got my little stone knife out, I'm going to use the scroll wheel button, click it, and completely missed the coconut. So that sucked. So we're going to have to create another one. Now, if there's another way to do this, please let me know. But as far as I know, the only way I can do this is to throw stuff at it. So we're going to try again. Okay, so this, if we hold it in longer, then we get a better bead on it. And we have achieved coconut, folks. So we're going to go ahead and pick up this coconut. Oh, there's another coconut right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here. Okay, you heard that too, right? That was not just me. There was definitely something in the woods there. Okay, whatever. We definitely need this coconut. So we're going to drop this coconut. We're going to get our axe out and chop up the coconuts. Now we have the coconut, and we're going to drink the coconut water. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of coconut water in there, but still, we are going to then harvest this, and that is going to give us 2 pieces of coconut, for what I remember. In our backpack. Yes, we have coconut here. So what we can do here is we can harvest this again. And that's going to get us the flesh of the coconut, and it's also going to get us coconut bowls. Now, the coconut bowls we can put out and gather rainwater, which this is how we do this. So I'm going to go ahead and eat this because this is going to give us some of our fats back. So I heard something in there. Now, maybe it was just me, but I heard something in there. But there was also another coconut, and I really, really need another coconut. So I, yep, definitely, no, there's definitely a snake in there, and I can't see it. And I don't have anything like tobacco plants in order to stop poison. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply go with the 2 bowls we have. We're able to get a bit of water out of the coconut, which is great. It should rain soon because it always seems to rain when I don't want it to. So it should eventually rain. We're going to harvest the stone while we see it to get a bit more stone because we threw some stuff away. And we are going to lay these coconuts out and gather up some rain. So that should give us drinkable water. Now, this is pretty much as far as I've gotten in the game so far, where in the past, like I said, I died of infection. So right when I started getting the coconuts rolling, I ended up dying of infection. But what we're going to do is we're going to open up our backpack. We're going to get our coconuts out, which sounds dirty, but it's not, trust me. And we are going to drop them on there. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So can I pick that up? There we go. So they're sort of separate there. Now, in theory, it should rain. They should fill up with water, and we should be able to drink that water because the rainwater should be good. It's clear skies right now, so that sucks because I really need that. Now, the best way to create rain in this game, I've found, is to start a fire because the second after you start a fire, it inevitably rains. So, ooh, I thought I heard the sound of rain, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and prove that by starting a fire. So there we go. So where's the hand drill? So we're going to use the hand drill like we did before. Only this time we don't have a bird's nest, so we're going to use the dried leaves that we got. We're going to start this. We're going to get the ember.
Come on.
This will also allow us to cook up our fish. Okay, so we got the ember going, and we're going to ignite that, and we're going to get the fish that we have. Put the fish on the fire. I'm not sure if you have to do this, but I'm going to put another stick or 2 on there just to be on the safe side to make sure it keeps going. Now, as you can see, there's a little bar around the fish, and once it's done, it's going to have cooked. So we definitely want to do that and make sure that we've cooked our fish before we eat it. So I am now going to wait for that to cook, and hopefully this cooks before the rain comes. But hopefully the rain does come soon because we definitely need some water, especially if you look at our watch. We are definitely low on water. Okay, so our fish is now completely cooked. We're going to take them and we're going to go into our backpack again. So now we see we have the cooked fish. We have to make sure that it is still good for consumption, and it is still okay. Otherwise, it's going to show green and that it's rotten. So we're going to go ahead and eat our fish. And that's going to gain us proteins and energy as well, too, which is very, very useful. And I believe it started to rain. And as you can see, there's water. So we're going to drink the water. And we're going to drink this water as well, too. And as you can see, it says drunk water clean, which is very, very useful. We're going to check our watch and see how we're doing. So we still got a ways to go, but we can keep drinking water. I guess the longer we wait to drink, the more water there's going to be, but we're so low on water right now, I wanted to drink a bunch of it as quickly as possible. So I'm going to wait a little while. I'm going to let those coconuts fill up until they've got the max amount of water in it, and I can't really tell when the maximum amount happens. Let's see what it is now. So 3 and 3, so we just have to keep doing this, I guess. Check our watch again. Okay, so we're definitely picking up with hydration. Now, we are still low on something. What is it that we're low on? We are low on... Okay, we are low on carbs, so we need basically sugars, I guess, and that we do not have. So we're going to need to find something eventually that has sugar in it, but for now, we seem to be out of the woods because we're able to collect and drink this water, which is super great for us. Yeah, so the longer you wait, the more you get to drink, and now... Yeah, we're about halfway filled with water. So we can keep doing this, repeating this process. However, now that we know that we are definitely not going to die of dehydration, I think this is a good place to end the video. So thank you all for accompanying me on my little journey into green hell. There is definitely going to be more of this in the future on the channel, whether it's going to be these pre-edited videos or possibly streaming. If this is a game you do want to see me stream, let me know in the comment section, because I have a feeling this would be a nice game to sort of sit back and play, and then I could talk with you guys, chat with you guys while I play, as opposed to something which is going to have all of my attention the entire time that we play. So if this is something you want to see me stream, please let me know. I'm all ears. In the meantime, though, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. May all your coconuts be full of juicy, juicy water, and I'll talk to you all again very soon.